So when it came to Pokemon collecting in the year 2023, I definitely made a lot of beginner mistakes and I learned a few valuable ones. So here are some of my 2024 collection goals and tips for the upcoming new year. So first of all, I just want to say thank you guys for supporting this channel. It's grown so much and it honestly means the world to me. So I just wanted to start this video by showing my gratitude and saying thanks. So let's talk about last year's collection goals because it's gonna fade into this year's collection goals. My collection goal last year was to pretty much open up as much product as I could because I was so late to the Sword and Shield party and kind of new to the Pokemon space. The Sword and Shield era is when I really hopped back in and started to take Pokemon collecting a little bit more serious. And in that flurry of Pokemon buying, I didn't really buy any singles. I just wanted to open up packs and just enjoy Pokemon for what that set was. And then midway through the year, I started to really see that I was spending a bunch of money and really not pulling anything and kind of not having that much fun. So my goals kind of shifted and I started to collect a little bit more singles, but still was on the same path of opening up as much product as I could find. With me ripping up all these packs, I started to realize fast that the pull rates for this era were really tough and that it would be financially smarter to buy some singles. So now fast forward to 2024, us being in the Scarlet and Violet era, I'm definitely going to shift my goals into collecting way more singles. The Scarlet and Violet era is so cheap and it's so good. It's actually cheap on both ends. It's cheap on the product side. You could find deals and sales on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet pretty much every single set besides 151. And then when it comes to the singles are super cheap. The trainer galleries all the way to the IRs and even the SIRs are very affordable. So for me personally, next year is going to be all about singles. So my second collection goal slash tip is going to be kind of narrow down what I really want to collect and focus in on a set number of my favorite characters and maybe trainers. I definitely want to create a list, write it all down, put some cards that are in my collecting goals future. Another goal that I have is just to go back, explore some of the cheaper vintage markets that I missed out on. And that's going to go with the previous tip of just honing in on a few characters and sticking to buying just that. The ones that I really love and the ones I'm just really a huge fan of. I also want to dive a little bit deeper into PSA graded slabs. I'm not a huge slab guy, but one of my big overall collection goals is to have one of those slab cases that I could hang up in this room right here behind me and display some of my favorite card arts in my collection. I'm personally not a huge fan of like grading for myself. I don't really care because I'm not going to sell a lot of these cards. A lot of these cards I just love collecting and I just like the art. So when it comes to buying those older vintage cards, I have no problem buying PSA 4s, 5s, and 6s. They're definitely more affordable and sometimes they're actually kind of harder to find. But at this point financially, I'm not going to try to search for 9s and 10s. I also think that 9s and 10s aren't that far off, so it doesn't bother me that much. I know there's some collectors out there that like only want to collect 9s, only want to collect 7s and just have all that displayed in their set, or they even do collecting the same card 1 through 10. I think that's cool too, but for me personally, I just really like the art. PSA 4s, 5s, 6s don't really bother me. So for my next collection goal slash tip is going to be to have a budget. I know I kind of said this one before in previous videos, but having a collection budget is so key. We all have our own different financial states. It's just smart to set aside a certain amount of money per paycheck for Pokemon so that you don't overspend. So that money is gone, that's it. And trust me, I've made this mistake before, but it's gonna save you guys a huge headache to just budget out your Pokemon buys. If you're like me and you kind of have problems with that, the best case scenario is just to do a pre-order where it's so far in the future that you just don't worry about it and that's it. That's all you're gonna get for that next set is just that pre-order bundle that comes with kind of everything and then you buy singles right after that. That's a great strategy. It saved me some financial troubles. I know personally I go on Instagram and I look at a bunch of people's like awesome card collections, there's a little bit of FOMO / jealousy of the beautiful cards that they have in their collection. I always have to remind myself that they've been collecting for a lot longer than I am. They potentially bought at an all-time low when Pokemon was not as poppin' as it is today. So don't compare your collections to people that have been doing it for a while and or have gotten deals. And my advice to Pokemon content creators is that to know your lane, know where you are at as far as like the size of your channel. Don't compare your opening videos to guys like Cool Trainer Ryan and PokeRev. Those guys have crazy collections that they can open up. More than likely, your budget isn't theirs. I really believe that there's room for everybody and that your personality is what really sets you apart from the YouTuber next to you. So just be yourself and continue to grow and create unique Pokemon content for the world to see. I know social media can be tough because it makes you really want some of these huge cards and really want to open like thousands and thousands of dollars of products to show the world that you're the best and you have like the coolest collection. But it's very important to know who you are and where you're at with your collection and with your channel and or financial budget for the Pokemon hobby. Remember that you can always get Pokemon deals. The year is going to be filled with ups and downs, so you never know where your collection can go in the year 2024. This next year is going to be absolutely awesome for Pokemon. I will be bringing you guys tons more Pokemon content from trending cards to Pokemon openings, and I'm very excited to grow with you guys on here. So thanks for watching and catch you guys real soon.